most of the viewers on this channel are already familiar with HEX and the unique power of a T-share. If you're not, I recommend watching the video in the top right corner first, as the protocol we're about to discuss is designed to help pump the price of HEX. Exclusively operating on the Pulse Chain network, Helgo is essentially a DeFi product disguised as a meme coin, often referred to as MemeFi. While it can be bought and held just like any other meme coin, it also empowers users to leverage trade HEX without the risk of liquidation. There are many strategies to consider in order to capitalize on Helgo, so I'll try to explain everything you need to know in a short and easy to understand video. Just keep in mind that there's no financial advice on this channel. I'm simply gathering the facts so my lazy friends don't have to. Helgo aims to be a force of good within the HEX ecosystem and offers multiple layers of complexity for those interested in exploring. Developed by OG Hexicans, Helgo was inspired by the Helgorian, a mysterious figure known for his unmatched local bottom calls. The entire supply of Helgo was minted after a trustless launch phase, during which users could deposit HEX or Pulse into the smart contract to receive a share of the circulating supply. During this phase, all deposited Pulse was automatically swapped for HEX, which initiated the first wave of HEX buying pressure. After accumulating a staggering 107 million HEX, the total Helgo supply was minted and allocated to different parts of the protocol. First off, 10% of the circulating supply was allocated to participants in the launch phase. They were able to claim one half of their share in the form of Helgo, the platform's utility and governance token, and the other half in the form of HEL-P, which is the Helgo and HEX liquidity pool token. This HEL-P allocation jump-started liquidity bonding between Helgo and HEX, allowing extensive swapping from one token to the other. While these swaps earn HEL-P holders trading fees, HEL-P can be turned back or melted into Helgo and HEX at any time. Controlling the liquidity balance between HEX and Helgo is the main focus of this protocol. With the goal of boosting prices even more during a bull market, 45% of the supply is directed to the emissions pool to reward users who help maintain this liquidity balance. Users have two options. They can deposit their Helgo into the Helgo farm to earn rewards, or they can provide liquidity in the HEX and Helgo pair first and then deposit the HEL-P token obtained from this process into the HEL-P farm. When the amount of HEL-P farmed is too low, its APY increases. On the other hand, if there's too much HEL-P farmed, it becomes more profitable to melt the HEL-P into Helgo and HEX, and then farm Helgo on its own. This mechanism encourages users to reduce correlation between the two when Helgo appreciates faster than HEX, allowing it to appreciate even more while avoiding impermanent loss in the process. Entering and exiting these farms is associated with a 0.69% fee, which is used to either buy or burn Helgo, adding buy pressure and reducing the supply, or adding funds to the farming contracts, increasing the APYs. To further ensure liquidity balance, 5% of the supply was sent to the Helgo DAO. This decentralized autonomous organization allows users to lock Helgo in exchange for voting power. The longer and the larger the lock period, the more votes they receive. Lockers can vote on whether the DAO contract should swap its HEX funds for Helgo, providing users with more exit liquidity, or if it should swap its Helgo for HEX, offering more entry liquidity. Since launch, the majority of votes have led to the DAO contract swapping Helgo for HEX, as HEX prices were exceptionally low during the brutal bear market. This allows users to acquire more Helgo at an even lower price. As this process is likely to be reversed when entering a vigorous bull market, resulting in an increased Helgo price relative to HEX, this mechanism mimics a leveraged position when users then swap back to HEX. At the time of making this video, the DAO has already increased its HEX holdings from 5 million to 34 million HEX, ready to deploy as potential buy pressure whenever voting shifts in the other direction. Given that this activity only happens within the HEX and Helgo pair, it does not have a negative impact on the HEX price. An important fact to point out is that 35% of the supply is locked into 37 DAO vaults controlled by founders. For the first 365 days, these funds can only be used for DAO voting as a backup mechanism to prevent whales from voting purely to benefit their own backs. After this period, there's a 15-year release schedule where funds may or may not be unlocked to benefit Helgo in various ways, such as future DAO voting, resupplying the emissions pools, or burning Helgo to reduce the overall supply. However, it's clearly stated that one should have no expectations of profit from its behavior. Regardless, the remaining 5% of the supply was allocated to the founders for their role in creating this protocol. The Helgo protocol employs immutable smart contracts that users call and interact with using their own private keys. At its core, it's intended to be coupled to the HEX price through a large liquidity position, initially owned by the contract but slowly farmed by users. Helgo serves as a leverage play on HEX, enabling users to achieve an equivalent APY to a 5555 HEX stake without time locking and liquidation risks. For those finding it too complex, Helgo can also be viewed as a meme coin with a positive influence on HEX, as every participant is routed through HEX first due to the large liquidity pool. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask them in the public Telegram room and share your thoughts in the comments below. I will also include some useful links in the description. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you found this video useful, and click the bell icon to get notified for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.